Hi, welcome to another episode of Ask a Tree Guy, and today I'm going to be your tree guy. Well, right now I'm just going to call this story time. So yeah, I'm not going to do no editing with this. I think I'm just going to upload it as is. I've been having a lot of fun with that editing software, and it's more of a hobby than anything, really. I don't mind how many views I get at this point. It's just, it's fun to me. Fun to me to be editing videos, get to learn how to work the software. It's called Wondershare Filmora 9. Wondershare Filmora 9. It's really easy to learn, and yeah, I like it. So anyways, story time. Well, I'm going to be just talking about something that I really think tree service people in general should know, and a lot of private contractor guys out there in general, like including if you do drywall, you should I'm talking like drywall, construction, carpentry, you're a landscaper, just anything that's like private contracting. This is something you should know if you're working for guys and stuff like that. But anywho, here goes the story. So before I actually was a utility forester, I actually worked up in New York State. And I'm not going to say the name of the company. I'm not going to say the name of any of the guys because I don't even know if any legal ramifications actually came about as a result of the actions that took place. Well, it's basically like this. I worked for this tree service company, and I worked for them for a season. And by the end of the season, we basically had 3 guys that were ground guys. It was me, 2 other guys, and then there were 2 guys that were climbers. One of them was the foreman, and then you had the boss, the guy that actually owned the business. Now, the business itself is pretty legit, The guys, the 3 top guys, you got the 2 climbers, and then the owner, who also is a climber and his own self. They were all ISA certified. We were really efficient as a team. We would get some real big jobs done. We made a lot of money. And it was right at the end of the season that just some weird stuff started happening. Well, what happened was this. I went off on vacation for a week. And before I actually went on vacation throughout the whole season, when we would get our paychecks, we didn't have time cards. We didn't write our hours down, sign off on them, or none of that. It's just the foreman, he just wrote everything down. Well, 2020 hindsight, this years ago, this happened. I know way better that I learned from that. I know way better now. You never, ever, ever, ever not record your time and get your time signed off if you're working with somebody. You never do that. Well, we didn't do that. The foreman, he would just write stuff down. So I never was short on my paycheck. I go on vacation. I come back. The other 2 ground guys, they come up to me and they say to me, they go, "Hey, are your paychecks coming up short?" I said, "No." And they go, "Well, we've been, busting our asses while you were gone, put in like 60-hour weeks, and we don't got the money in our paychecks." And I told them, I said, "Well, talk to them about it. You just don't, go ahead." So they go up, they talk to the foreman first, and they say to him, "Hey, yo, dude, we've been making like this many hours. We know our hours. I mean, we all work together. We know our hours. So why aren't our paychecks like that?" And he says, "Oh, there's an hour cap." Mind you, we've been working with this dude all season long, and I never got shorted, ever. So when these guys told me that, I was like, "He told you that?" I said, "You guys gotta go talk to the owner. You can't deal with that. You gotta go talk to the owner. It's like there's really no point talking to me about it. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's your personal business. Go talk to the owner about it. So the thing is that it seems like, from what I was talking to them, they never freaking did. They just kind of bitched out and just kept on, complaining. Just like, and they would keep seeing that their checks would be short, checks would be short. But it went from, some odd hours of this, what the foreman was saying, there was an hour cap. Now, he was salary, and the yard climbing guy was salary. And nobody ever told us about an hour cap. So, it was just some clear bullshit. And these guys, what they did was they just weren't really doing anything about it. And their checks just kept coming up short for a while after that. But my check was always fine. I never had a problem with my check. But these two guys kept saying to both of them, my check was short, like each week. And I'm like, dude, you guys gotta freaking talk to this guy and get it figured out. Well, the thing is that it just kept going on until the point where I honestly, it's been years gone by. I don't know if they ever talked to the guy. They both just said, well, we're just gonna leave, and F this and F that. And I ended up, it was the end of the season. I ended up going, but they got so upset. And the thing is, what got me the most is that it was two things. The first thing is that they didn't recognize, just as I didn't recognize, it was a wrong thing that we never even asked for a time card in the first place. You always get your time card. You get your time card every time. So what we did was, is that we already trained the foreman and we already trained the owner of the business to act the way that they did, where they didn't have to expect to give us a time card or feel like they need to give us a time card. That's just something that we should have been doing right out the door. Thankfully, I never got, no problems. But these two, they had all kinds of problems. And hey, that's two witnesses right there. So if they're both having problems, I guess. If it was just one guy, then, someone could be easily lying, but it's these two guys. And then the other thing is this. They just wouldn't approach the manager about it. I mean, what happened to just like having some balls and just like going and talking like man to man with somebody like, yo, this is jacked up. I know it was like this, and just like confront somebody. Whatever happened to that? It's like there's so many effeminate people out there. There's so many just emasculated guys out there that it's not even funny. It's hard to really find normal men nowadays that could just talk face to face and just hash problems out. But there's all this back talking. Like I said, these guys, they just kept coming to me. They kept coming to me, talking to me about it. I just kept telling them, like, look, you gotta go talk to the manager. To the point where eventually they just stopped talking to me about it, and they just talked to them own selves between the two of them until they both just got so mad they just friggin', at least one of them left. I don't know if the other guy did, but one of them left. But anywho, that's story time. That's story time with Ask a Tree Guy. So I hope y'all have a good one, and yeah, see you on the next video.